Assalamu alaikum guys, it's me, Maimuna. I'm back here again with another video. If I look or seem a little bit tired in this video, it's because I need to sleep. It's like 1:26 in the night, and for some reason I think it's a fabulous time to film a video. Yeah, I do have work tomorrow, so I really need to stop making these videos at this time and just go to sleep. But regardless, you guys need me, you guys need my help. So when I'm in need, I always come to the rescue. I was sent a question from one of my lovely followers on Instagram, and it's one of those questions where I get asked this a lot. It is a question of somebody asking me if they should live with in-laws or not. Hi, I've had rishtas where I would happen to live with in-laws if I were to pursue that rishta. A rishta is basically like a marriage proposal, so somebody who has come for your hand in marriage. This one rishta I got, it was amazing and great, but the guy wants to live with his parents. He's the eldest, but his mom is a little controlling. I keep thinking about that rishta because the guy's amazing and I don't mind living with in-laws. I love to be a part of family, but I wonder at times how my daily routines would be like and how the privacy would be like. He is pursuing to be a lawyer. He's almost there, and I'm pursuing to be a paralegal, so we will both be working and he's open for me to work. Of course, when kids come, I personally prefer to take time off work or work part-time, and he's cool with that. I just wonder how his parents would take on this. I do a lot in my own home, from cooking to cleaning, taking care of the family. You know the drill. I'm the eldest as well. Okay, so what I want to say first of all is whatever you choose to do, okay, do not come to me telling me that you took my advice and now something has gone wrong and it's all my fault and I'm the one responsible because I told you to do this. No, do not come to me with that, please. This is your life, okay? You are responsible for your decisions. Do not take the advice of a random person on the internet who you don't know. Even if she's an influencer, even if she knows what she's talking about, just don't do it, please. Just listen to me and what I'm about to say and make your own judgment, okay? I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do because that is your life, okay? But I'm going to tell you what I wish I had done before I got married to my husband and moved in with my in-laws. So you know what you should do, okay? Because there are some things that a lot of us don't do before we move into our in-laws. There are certain agreements that need to be made. On the whole topic of should you even be living with your in-laws in the first place, everyone's gonna have like a mixed opinion on this. Some people are gonna be really strongly about yes, and some people are gonna be really strongly about no. But I genuinely think it is, and this is from my experience, I think it is very difficult, okay, to work full-time and live with your in-laws, okay? There is a lot of responsibility that comes with living with in-laws. You have more to do, there's more on your plate, and if you're working full-time on top of that, you're gonna be super duper stressed. Like, it's already stressful as it is with everything you have to do and all the adjustments you have to make, and then on top of that you'll be working in a really demanding job being a paralegal. So I just feel like it's gonna be really difficult. If anything, I would recommend you to just work less or go part-time, but again, that's entirely up to you. So if anybody came to me, if it was like a sister or a friend or somebody who I truly cared about, and they came to me telling me that they're gonna move into their in-laws, I'm not gonna lie, I would freak out and be like, no, you cannot do that, do not do that. That would be my first reaction. And I'm not trying to, because I live with my in-laws, I'm not trying to sugarcoat things or make things seem, oh yeah, it's amazing, you should definitely live with your in-laws. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to be 100% real and say it's not for everybody, okay? It can be really difficult, and there's a lot that comes along with it that you don't see until you're in that situation. And if you are married and living with your in-laws, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll speak a little bit about the whole process of getting married because I've been there, and if you're in like the Desi, Asian, brown community and you're trying to find somebody who's in the same background as you, Pakistani, Bengali, Indian, you'll notice that most of the men that you meet, whether it's online or as proposals, they're always looking for somebody who wants to move in with their family. And this is extremely common. Now you may all be wondering, oh my gosh, why is this? It's because, and this is a expectation placed on men, okay? Whenever a man gets married in the Asian community or family, he's next in line to bring a new beau or wife into the house. That's just how the culture works, okay? His parents put that expectation on him that whoever he marries, they should live with us and look after us and run the house and basically do all of that cultural stuff. It's usually the good guys, it's usually the guys who really educated, they are really nice to talk to, you have a lot in common with them, the ones who are really generous, really kind, really loving. It's those kind of guys I find the perfect matches that tend to be the ones that want you to live with their parents. And I cannot emphasize enough how annoying that can be, because you're out there, you're swimming in the sea looking for fish to catch, okay? You're looking for your partner, the one you want to spend the rest of your life with, and everyone you meet wants you to move in with their family, every one of them. And if you don't want to do that, if that's not something you're looking to do, then what do you do? Do you just keep looking? Like, do you somehow convince the guy to move out of his family? I mean, you can, but on a moral standpoint, I don't agree with that. Like, if a guy wants a wife that lives with his parents, I don't think you should be the one to convince him out of it or coerce him out of it, unless he wants to live alone, because you will have some outliers. They're very rare in our Asian community, but they do exist, and that's guys who don't want to live with their parents, okay? It's guys who want their own life, who want to settle down separately. Their parents are no longer alive, or maybe they're just not family orientated. If you think you found somebody, he has everything you've ever wanted, he's got all the qualities you're looking for, but the only catch is you have to live with his family, then if you choose to go for it, because I know that's what tends to happen, many women just give up because it's so exhausting, like searching for a partner. It's, oh my gosh, there's so many experiences that you have to go through before you find the one, and then even when you find the one that ticks all your boxes, there's like other issues that you have to sort out, and it's like, I get it, it's difficult, okay? You found the right guy, you have to move in with his family. What do you do? How do you make this process less difficult for you, okay? How do you make it work in your favor and also work in his favor? Well, what I would recommend is lay out everything that you want to do after marriage in front of him. Lay it on the table. So if you want to work, let him know you want to work, okay? If you want to see your friends or your family on certain days, certain times a year, certain times a week, let him know. If you want to have days off where you don't do anything at all, you just want to have days to yourself, let him know. And when I say let him know, I don't mean like tell him, no, I mean write it down on a piece of paper and make it a contract, okay? This is basically, it's called a nikah-nama, and this is like a marriage contract. He has to agree to all these terms, okay? And then when you move in with your in-laws, all of these terms need to be abided by, and he can also make terms himself that you may or may not agree with. So all these things, they need to be discussed in advance, okay? And especially if you're working full-time, like if you want to work full-time, definitely state that in the nikah-nama. And if you want days off, like a weekend where you don't do any housework or any in-law stuff, okay, definitely put that in the contract as well, because if you're working full-time, you're going to need to have some days off. Like, I'm not going to lie, it is a job running a house when you have in-laws around. There's so much you have to do. Like, there are days when, because I work part-time myself, and there are days when I have to do a lot and I'm exhausted, but I still have to do it because that's part of the job, you know? I agree to this. So you don't want to be in a position where you're so stressed from your work, and then you're so stressed from what's happening at home, that it starts to get to you and it affects your job and your home life. You don't want to get to that. So definitely give yourself days off from all that. Also make agreements on what you do with your money. You're working full-time, so you might be making a lot of extra income, and you may not be contributing to anything household related, because normally when women live with in-laws, they don't really contribute that much, but you can if you want to. You don't have to. So also discuss like what you want to contribute to, what you don't want to contribute to, what he has to give you, all that stuff. Just put it down in writing. If there's ever a problem in the future, nobody can defy the contract, okay? Nobody. During this time when you're making this contract, try and get your future husband to agree to you moving out at some point, okay? This is important because you don't want to be stuck in living with in-laws forever. Okay, nobody wants to be stuck doing that. You will not be stuck doing that. Do not worry. If you live with your in-laws and you didn't make that agreement, you will not be living with them forever. Just for your own peace of mind and for a guarantee that you'll have your own place at some point. Definitely both of you come to agreement that at some point you will move out as well. If you're a guy and you're watching this, I always really truly wonder why many of the men who they want to find a wife who wants to live with their parents, why don't they go back home to find somebody? I always wonder that, because I feel like the way that we've been raised living here, we've been programmed in a way from, I don't know if it's the media or if it's our upbringing, is it all the TV shows that we watch, but we've basically been programmed to want and accept a life where it's just the husband and the wife. And even growing up, like, I don't know about your parents, but my parents, they lived in their own house. There wasn't any grandparents that lived with me or any extended family that lived with me. It was just my mom and dad. So I always thought that, okay, when I get married, it'll be just me and my husband. And it's just the way that we're programmed. That's kind of what we want, and it's really difficult to like deprogram that, and it's difficult to get that same exposure a girl from back home would have, because women from back home, from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they live with extended family. They're always surrounded with like their cousins, aunts, like grandparents, everybody, so they can see how a daughter-in-law interacts and how sister-in-laws interact, and they kind of have exposure to that. Where somebody like me, who just grew up here, I've never really had much exposure to that at all, unless I like watch Star Plus drama. So for me to like be put in a situation where there's gonna be extended family and in-laws and everything, that's like a really big like culture shock in a sense. So I always get so confused when I notice that men who have the expectation to have a wife that lives with their in-laws, with their family, why don't they marry back home? Like, I don't understand. Maybe they want a wife who they have things in common with, who they can talk to, who's independent, and basically she's just like, she's born and raised here, but who also wants to live with in-laws, which I feel like is really, it's really unrealistic, and I don't think it's easily found. I just do not understand that. There is no difference, honestly, between a girl from back home and a girl from here. Like, genuinely, we're the same, exact same. It's just we have different upbringings. Like, you can still have things in common with a girl from back home. Like, I just don't understand. I feel like somebody who's used to that would be more suited to that kind of life. Try to come to an agreement where both of you are happy, and also come to an agreement where you can benefit from as well. Because situations like this, okay, you found the perfect guy, he's everything you've ever wanted, okay? He doesn't have a criminal record, and he hasn't got like a baby mama, and he's not divorced twice or something like that, okay? He's a perfect guy, sweet, kind, he's a bit of a mama's boy, okay, he's got all these qualities, whatevs. That's great, okay, it's great to have a guy that has all those things, but there should be something in that you benefit from as well. If you're agreeing to sacrificing weekends and evenings to spend time with your in-laws, then there has to be a benefit in there for you. So whether it's him taking you out, whether it's him like taking you shopping, giving you some pocket money, you know, allowing you to keep all of your income so you can save it and like splurge on yourself, get yourself some designer bags or something. Like, there has to be some benefit in there for you. So think about that as well, because you don't want to be in a position where you're doing so much for everyone but you're not getting anything out of it for yourself. You get me? That's what I would do if I was you and I wanted to live with my in-laws. But if you don't want to live with your in-laws, then that's entirely your choice, okay? And I do not blame you, honestly, I do not. In a sense, it is really similar to staying with your parents. I'll be honest, living with your in-laws is like living with your parents, except in your parents' house you might be able to get away with a bit more. You might be able to not do as much housework. The only con with being in your parents' house is you basically have an empty bed and there's like no romance in your life. If you do manage to have your cake and eat it too, aka find a guy that's everything you want and who'll move out and he'll just give you whatever you want, then that's really good news, and like, girl, you've hit the jackpot. But if you don't, then there's nothing wrong with settling for someone and just compromising and coming to terms with meeting in the middle. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Let me know how you guys liked it. and I will do more videos like this soon where I answer your questions. So yeah, stay tuned and please subscribe to my channel.